Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Bro Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods,
AKA one flannel, two mammals.
aka two bros, no paño this time.
Little puppy,
Little puppy. How about aka brothers nailing timing to a comedic crescendo, tilting at windmills, and immortalizing Okendo? This is Rich Poland. Woo! Thank you, Rich Poland. You amazing dude. I love it, dude.
A new contributor. I like
A
seeing
new
that.
contributor. I love these. There's another
the
one.
AKA game.
I got one more from Charlie Shulman, aka two dudes making jokes, too crude, followed by and folks is my mood. That is Charlie Shulman. Love you guys. I love all the AKAs. Thank you so much for participating in this and creating the community around this show. This is what we intended when we did this show. We wanted to do something every day that at least lifted your spirits. I know we're going into a crazy lockdown. We are in LA. Like, people are not supposed to be out. We are like just coming here to do this and then going back home. We are trying to be as faithful and mindful as we can, and so we appreciate you, and you're going to need this now more than ever, wherever you are in your house, doing laundry, doing dishes, walking around the house, walking around your hood, whatever it is, we're here for you.
Yes.
Should we jump into this right now?
Let's do it.
All right, so in the 1980s, I don't know if you were around back then, but we were. People like Phil Collins could be pop stars. I feel the need to explain that to people, right?
Yeah, Phil Collins.
Because you look at Phil Collins.
He's like the opposite of Shawn Mendes.
Right? Guys who looked like character actors. Like, remember when Bob Hoskins was in Who Framed? Like, the only movie who could be a lead in is one where the other character was an animated character.
And like an animal that he wanted to have sex with.
Right? A rabbit with big boobs.
But also, like,
They could be huge rock stars back then. I mean, there is a picture of Phil Collins from Genesis with his shirt off and he's got a wristband on and he's flipping off he looks cool. I'm sorry. But later in life,
balding.
he just, like, he made...
when he was 40. Like,
he
probably
made
when we
music
started singing.
videos that made fun of himself.
Right.
Took the piss out of himself.
Right.
And it didn't matter that the guy looked like the camera guy who shot the video.
Agreed.
You look at Phil Collins,
Yes.
and what he wore, never shaven, always wearing a hat that was like too flat up here.
He had a great voice, though. He had a
Killer
really
voice.
great voice.
If you don't think he had a great voice, or if you're not convinced he had a great voice,
Are you going to say go back and watch Live Aid?
we'll definitely watch Live Aid. But if you want to know kind of where his voice, what would people today think about his voice? There is a video of
it's
two.
the best thing in
Are
the
they brothers? They're not twins, are they?
They're twins.
Oh, they're twins.
Yeah.
Two brothers who listen to In the Air Tonight for the first time. This is them hearing to me, it's almost like a baby hearing for the first time. like they're just hearing things for the first time.
yes.
You want to see them, watch that, and then you'll realize what a straight up gangster he is. They lose their mind, and that's him on the drums. Rolls Royce of a voice, okay? And then he disappeared. And then he did
He did songs in Disney movies.
He did Disney movies, and then he disappeared again, which tells me he was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I've made all the money I need to make.
I
I've
looked
done-
like I was 50 when I was 30. I'm done.
And then there was like a weird rumor when we were kids that he was like very pro the PLO, like very anti-Israel. Like, he didn't play in
Which,
Israel.
by the way, could probably help him in some areas. But
Maybe, but like, he didn't play in Israel until 1999. But we always heard that he was like hated the Jews. Like, how did that rumor get started?
It's an odd
How did that come to? It's not true.
it's not true.
He wasn't a drums playing Goebbels.
No.
He was Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
He said it was never true. He wanted to play in Israel and finally played in 1999. Okay,
That's just
it's
bad
weird.
PR. It's like a bad rumor spread about the guy in the air tonight.
An icon nonetheless. All right. If you don't think his music has staying power, what do we say?
Go back and watch this video with the twins.
I have a theory that Phil Collins is probably happy to have a quiet and normal life.
Yeah.
Now out of the spotlight because he lived as the biggest. He was one of the biggest stars in the world. Go back and watch Live Aid.
Take Me Home is a great video where he shot it in like 45 different
He can go
cities.
shopping now. If he wants to go grocery shopping, no one's really going to stop him.
I saw Steve Perry picking up food at a barbecue restaurant.
That's insane.
in a crazy
There's
jacket.
no way he could have done that in 1987. No way.
No way. No way.
To me, it's worth... Okay, but then when something happens with his ex-wife...
Yep.
It's like, and she's crazy. It's worth him losing his privacy
To step out into the world and be
to
like,
show this
she
is what I'm
crazy.
dealing with. She crazy.
She crazy.
And with that, it's time to take take you home because I don't remember. All right. The court's previous recommendation. So this has been ongoing. I'm starting the story in the middle.
There were other recommendations. There was a recommendation that Phil Collins' ex-wife and her new boyfriend.
Well, we're going to get into it.
Leave their house.
We're going to get into it. The court's previous recommendation that Phil Collins and his ex-wife, Orianne Seavey.
She sounds awful.
Cevey. Am I pronounced? It can't be Kevy. Chevy. Work out their property and financial disputes amongst themselves over Zoom. That was the original thing. That didn't seem to have worked out as well as we thought. I'm going to assume that neither Phil Collins nor his crazy ex-wife understand how Zoom works.
Yeah, I bet she does not.
Has he ever been on a Zoom, Phil Collins?
Probably not.
She definitely does not understand that everybody can see her flipping off Phil Collins whenever he talks.
Yeah. She doesn't get that the camera's on all times.
Despite that one friend who still thinks the on-again, off-again couple should, quote, get back together and pair reaching a partial settlement in October, it seems that Seavey, and again, I could be saying it wrong, so I apologize if I am, Sevi, has destroyed any chance of reconciliation after claiming in court documents that her ex-husband is a binge-drinking hermit. He may be. That could totally be true. Why is that such a bad thing?
Yeah, he might even not be offended by that.
Look, in this day and age, yeah, I
We're
get
all
it.
binge-drinking hermits in some way.
We haven't seen Phil Collins in the air in any night, let alone tonight. So that stands to reason. She continued, and this is where she probably should have cut it off. A hermit dealing with impotency and hygiene issues. Okay.
That feels like literally a low blow.
Is that a low blow?
Yes.
I'm sure Phil Collins, when he was riding around in the hot tub in the back of the limo in the video for Take Me Home.
Yeah.
In the video shoot, probably never thought to himself, I'm going to have a future ex-wife who's going to call me impotent to the world.
No matter how impotent he was, and maybe she's part of the impotency.
All those
Could be on her.
But all those claims, the presiding judge, Spencer Eig,
Eig.
has recommended be struck from the record. So the judge is even like, lady,
When
shut
the
up.
judge is like, you are batshit crazy, then it's time to stop.
She's so crazy, she could join Giuliani's.
The cadre
now
of
that he's
lawyers
in the
trying to fight
hospital,
election.
she's the next
Step
Sydney.
up.
She's the next Sidney Powell. She's definitely not afraid to make claims, Jay.
She's bold. She'll go after people
with no evidence.
She'll go after people where it hurts the most. We know that much.
Put her on the trial team. Sidney Powell, you ready? Does she know anything about Venezuela? Anybody? Maybe. Who cares? She doesn't need to know anything at this point.
Need to know.
During the couple's most recent hearing, Judge Eig told Seavey to stop making, quote, scandalous remarks about her ex-husband or else risk having her claim to half of his $40 million Miami mansion thrown out entirely. Yeah, if you're claiming or trying to make a claim on a half of a $40 million mansion.
Maybe shut up about his hygiene.
Shut up about his impotency. Keep your crazy mouth shut. Do you think Elin Nordegren, Tiger Woods' wife, who got like $150 million. Now, that was only like 10% of his overall wealth. Still, do you think she was going to publicly? I mean, she almost hit him with a 9-iron in the head, and she's like, "This guy's great. He's a good father.
He's a good dad.
She knows what she's getting.
She knows
what she's getting. All right. She kept calm. She golf clapped when the money came her way.
That's right.
She just shut her mouth. According to the Daily Mail, Judge Eig also sided with Collins' lawyers, who argued to the judge to strike Seavey's offending statements from the record. Again, when a judge steps in,
You've gone too far.
the former couple's ongoing dispute is over the rightful inhabitant and financial beneficiary of his mansion. This is a $40 million Miami mansion, which the musician claims, this is the craziest thing ever, what I'm about to say. Seavey and her new husband, Thomas Bates, quote, seized via an armed occupation and takeover.
What?
Which the pair has repeatedly denied.
What are you talking about? She has a new husband and she still wants Collins' money? What is going on?
And they took his mansion via armed occupation.
She definitely didn't make the $40 million to get that mansion. That
what is it?
Half
is it Scarface 2, for Christ's sake? How great would it be?
To me, in Miami, that is how you take over a house.
I guess.
Armed invasion.
How great would that be if that was the plot for Scarface 2 and Phil Collins was supposed to do the music for that movie?
The soundtrack for
Yes,
Scarface 2?
to his own Miami mansion, hostile takeover nightmare of a story. Wouldn't that be great?
Yep.
I'd watch it.
Yep.
Scarface 2, Electric Boogaloo. White Nights, really White Nights. If they could somehow work out the PLO and just get the PLO into the takeover, that like they provided
The whole
the
thing will
guns,
come full circle.
They provide the guns, they provided the guards, then it all comes full circle. Or if Phil Collins tried to roll up on his Miami mansion, which I'm assuming is on the water, on a boat, while he was out there waiting to capture it,
and he watches this woman's husband drown while she's watching him drown.
There you go.
I was there and I saw what you did.
I saw it with my own two eyes.
So if you saw what that person did with your own two eyes,
you watched someone drown too.
You saw it too.
You did nothing. In response, Collins' legal representation filed a motion to strike, claiming that CV's statement contained a litany of demonstrably false, immaterial, impertinent, scandalous, and scurrilous.
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 That's
scurrilous, Ernie. That's terrible. That is the scurrilous may be the best Charles Barkley word he never speaks.
That's terrible.
That's scurrilous, Ernie. Shaq, that's scurrilous. And the fact that Phil Collins is impotent has no bearing on this case whatsoever. Am I right? Who cares that he can't get it up? Or the fact that he showers once every 10 days. There was a point in that relationship where she loved it. She wanted it.
They had a groovy kind of love.
Okay, who are we to judge what she liked or didn't like? These allegations are included only to further defendants' plan to deliberately make sensationalized and/or false allegations. Yeah, what is she getting out of it? The public isn't going to give you a $40 million, half of a $40 million mansion. Phil Collins is. You better kiss his feet, his dirty, impotent feet. Like she'd say he couldn't get it up, and he'd give her like the Masters to Easy Lover.
Or
like
behind the lines.
He's not going to do that, okay? It's going to be a little more difficult than that. Judge I gave CV's attorney
lover.
5 days to amend her claim. It's like, you got 5 days to change this and tell her to stop
Figure
writing
it out,
scurrilous
dummy.
stuff.
Figure it out.
So now we're going to see what kind of a woman she is. This is it. Now you're going to see, Jay. Is she
going to stand on this? Is she willing to die on this hill penniless?
That's right. She's willing to be the lonely woman there on the corner. Do you think that... You think she paid for that mansion like you said? No. That thing was paid for by Susudio money. Do you understand?
Susudio. No jacket required.
You had
You didn't
nothing
have
to
a jacket.
do with it. Okay? You and your new husband had better grab your AR-15 and get the hell out of there with the rest of the PLO.
That's Phil's house.
Get out tonight.
Whoa.
If you file the motion tomorrow with all of the same allegations that are not in compliance with the order, then you run the risk of the complaint being dismissed. Yeah.
Right.
The court
With
is going to
prejudice. With prejudice.
He's not going to dismiss it. The court is going to dismiss
He
it.
doesn't have to.
Who knows? It may be worth her to insult Collins and lose the case. What else is wrong with the guy? Okay. Well, does he watch weird stuff on Netflix?
Does he have a weird octogenarian fetish? Tell us. Let us know.
Does he misuse they, them pronouns? Get it out. Now, if you want to get it out, amend the document.
Does he say anyways?
Start spilling it. It feels like, is he too sensitive with this whole identity politics thing? What's going on? The embattled couple is set to face off again in court in late January. Their 2-day trial is scheduled to begin. If Court TV doesn't cover this,
They have to.
what do you do in Court TV? Remember when Court TV? I want this woman to show up in her wedding dress, Jay.
The one she got married to Phil or to her new husband?
Either. One on top of the other with a funeral veil on. She's crazy, Jay.
Crazy.
Show the world how nuts you are. That's it. I want Phil Collins to write an album about her.
Yeah.
If he came back and wrote the most Phil Collins ever album about this crazy woman, like old Phil Collins, crazy drunk, go back and record it the same way you did Face Value. Hello, I Must Be Going, Phil Collins. Vintage. That would be incredible,
That'd
wouldn't
be
it?
amazing. You'd sell millions of copies and he could buy 2 houses.
That's right. Buy the house right next to hers and terrorize her. If that's the case, then we will consider. Here's the thing. If that's the case, can we still consider this woman his muse? She made him write it. She provided the information.
She did inspire it.
And he becomes famous, and she'll take claim to that. All right, that's our first story down in the books. Phil Collins.
Yes.
When we come back, Manny
the
Pacquiao.
Philippines. It's really the Philippines.
Manny Pacquiao, you are indicative of the Philippines and their views on gay lifestyle.
No, not gay lifestyle. Well, that for Manny Pacquiao, but the lifestyle and the way that the Philippines goes after women who are part of adulterous situations is absurd.
Well, we'll get into it on the other side of the break. Stay with us. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. This weekend is the live Dumb People Town. We have sold a lot of tickets. We opened up a few more tickets in the couples and the Ticket Plus. So we
Low ticket alert. This is a low ticket alert. If you're thinking about it, get these tickets now.
And we're selling some really cool merch that all the proceeds are going to charity, so you can do something nice for charity. Hey, by the way, if you go to fluffycrate.com and look up Sklar, you can get Sklar Bro Country sweatshirts. That's a great gift. It's only $40. Great, like the best sweatshirt ever. Our mom will not get out of that sweatshirt. It is soft. It's wonderful. Sklar Bro Country hats, punch of waterfall t-shirts, Weast Mode shirts. You can get Weast Mode on a sweatshirt, all that stuff. Fluffycrate.com, and you get that stuff there. And also, we're available for cameos. We'll wish you a if you go to cameo.com and look up Sklar Brothers, we'll wish you happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy New Year, birthdays, weddings, whatever. They're the most fun, and people really love giving them as gifts. Personal, tailorized videos, amazing stuff. And then thank you to everyone today who is on the Stereo app.
Yeah,
because we have Stereo Conversation at noon today. We may do another one next week, next Tuesday, and then maybe next Thursday as well. If you go to the Stereo app, it's free, and look up, we're doing a conversation at noon, a Dumb People Town conversation. You can send in voicemails, little ditties. We'll listen to them, and we'll talk about it on the show. It's really a fun hour. It goes fast. All right, let's do this.
Remember when Manny Pacquiao made all those anti-gay statements, and then he was
How could I
elected
forget?
to office?
I know, man.
Elected to office in the Philippines.
That's the Philippines.
That's
far, yeah.
Basically, that tells you all you need to know about the Philippines.
Yep, that's how they operate.
Not exactly an evolved society.
Nope.
And if you don't believe us, as we said before the break, take a look at how they deal with adultery. I'm aiming at their attitudes towards women.
Yeah. Oh, they're not going to be bad attitudes
Gentle
towards men.
Women can be jailed for up to 6 years for being caught cheating on their husbands in the Philippines. Damn.
How bad is your marriage?
That a woman would rather go to actual jail than live in the emotional prison.
At least she's safe in jail.
Well, we got a story right now about a woman who decided to take the risk and then tried to dodge the consequences.
I give her credit, man. I give
a
her
lot of
credit. Also, I'm bewildered by what is about to happen.
Okay, according to the article about the incident, video footage claims to show the moment a wife was found hiding in the ceiling of a love motel.
There we go.
After her husband caught her cheating with her toy boy lover.
You mean boy toy?
They wrote toy boy.
I think it's boy toy.
Love Motel and Toy Boy makes me think that this was written in the language of the Philippines, and then translated into English.
Yeah, like clearly those words mean something else, but someone was like, I don't know what it means.
Although Toy Boy could be the plot of the next Toy Story.
Sure.
Get the Philippines Pixar on the phone.
Philippines Pixar. Let's do it, man.
The suspicious husband is said to have followed her to the budget hotel where police used a ladder to uncover her hiding space in a void above the bedroom.
What?
Well,
trap door up top.
Well, at least the police are doing the good kind of police work down there that makes the streets of Manila safe. Getting this woman down.
She's the problem.
From the ceiling.
You're going to help society out by getting this woman out. If she's willing to hide in the ceiling to stay away from this whole situation, let her go.
And I wonder if they file, when they put their files away in filing cabinets, if they put the files in
Manila folders. Sure, of course they do.
Reports in the Philippines claim the woman's partner had recently returned home to Mandaue City after months of working abroad on oil rigs.
Working abroad on oil rigs.
That's a likely story.
Yeah.
How do we know he wasn't cheating on her?
He's probably having an affair.
He could have said he was working abroad and then actually
be working abroad on
land or on an oil rig.
There you go.
And working on an oil rig does kind of sound like working an oil rig sounds like a sexual euphemism.
Oh yeah,
doesn't
working in oil. You got to oil it up.
I worked on that rig for a long time. It was wet out there.
Yep,
and oily. Instead of an enjoyable break in the run-up to Christmas. I love that that's the thing that was ruined for these people. Our run-up to Christmas is now totally ruined because this woman is cheating on me.
Why would you ruin the ramp-up from Black Friday?
He became disheartened after noticing his wife was distant, the Sun report. This guy is sharing a lot of emotional details.
How is this
with the Sun?
How is this news?
Maybe if he shared more of his emotional journey with his wife, she wouldn't be looking for a toy boy.
That's right.
His suspicions grew when she frequently went out on weekends, saying that she was working overtime as an accounting clerk.
You know how much accounting has to get done at
Weekend
night,
nights.
up in the club, man.
That's part of the gig.
Hey, man.
Accountants and stand-up comedians. All the work is on Saturday night.
You stack chips up in the club and you account for them.
That's when the books get balanced. Am I right?
Thank you.
That's when expenses get tallied.
Come
right?
on, brah. Everyone knows
We
that.
all know that. So I don't know why you're so suspicious. She's an accountant. Of course, she has to be out on Saturday
Late
night
night
working.
accountant. You know what I'm saying?
On Sunday, after the couple had been on a date, they're still dating, which is crazy.
By the way, why are they going out on dates now?
The
Why
wife,
is the Philippines
The
still
wife
open?
said she needed to leave for an emergency in the office. It is claimed.
Okay. You
Which
know
means
one of
he's
that love
claiming this.
emergencies.
You know the accounting.
You know the old
emergencies.
accounting 911?
Yeah, it happens all the time. Nothing
Sure.
weird about that.
Nothing weird about that. Got an accounting emergency.
He decided to follow her in a taxi, and as it dropped her off in front of a motel, a love motel.
Yeah. By the way,
Only specified for
don't
love.
meet the man outside. Meet him in the room.
Isn't any hotel or motel where she's meeting this guy a love motel for her?
Everyone is,
This is a love motel where she met a younger man. Maybe she was just balancing his books.
so to speak.
For all we know.
So
right?
to speak.
The husband, who has not been identified, said, "I did not know what to do. I called my friend for help, and they reported it to the police." Oh, great.
The police.
Well, I'm sure she'll get a fair shake in this whole deal.
Good to be a woman in the Philippines.
Uh,
If ever it was good to be a woman, it's right now in the Philippines.
It's for the past 250 years in the Philippines. He said that he also asked lobby staff to let him in and enter because his wife was inside.
Yep.
He should have added that someone else was inside with his wife, and the person from the hotel probably would have gotten a bat and beat down the door.
I'm sure.
They refused to let him in, but the police arrived and ordered the staff to open the door, as adultery is a criminal offense in the Philippines. I'm going to assume for women only.
Only women.
Against the law. Doesn't that feel extreme, Rand?
A little bit.
Doesn't that?
It really does.
The wife's alleged lover was concerned as he tried to leave the building, and I'm sure he was treated fairly with no abuse of power.
Sir, let me just walk you out this way.
We're going to take care of the real offender, this woman.
Mm-hmm.
But officers were baffled when they found no one else in the room, with the wife's clothes strewn across the floor.
Maybe she's like a female David Blaine.
Or a messy ghost. This is how she ghosts somebody.
She could, yeah.
She literally ghosts them.
She literally became a ghost.
Soon after, they heard a loud bang from the ceiling, followed by a woman's shoe falling from a crack.
Oh my God. This is like, is this did Tarantino set this whole thing up?
She made it up into the ceiling.
God,
You
man.
couldn't just be quiet for a few hours up in the
hang
ceiling.
out.
You had to hear them underneath you.
Hang out for a week.
So did she want to get caught? That's what I don't know.
If they leave, I don't know. If they leave, she can come down 3 hours later. You can wait 3 hours up in
she
the
had to
ceiling.
drop a shoe from the crack.
I know. Shoot from the crash.
Shoe in a crack sounds like a fetish of a thing.
Definitely.
Why are her clothes strewn across the floor, but her shoes are on? Does that feel weird? She put her
Well,
shoes
that
on?
definitely was the thing.
Well, so what do you think she was doing? Was she trying to get out of that room and over a different room and then down
Probably
and out?
down and out. But why wouldn't you go with your clothes, for Christ's sake?
I know. A video shows police officers pointing at the ceiling and using a ladder to check the opening where they found the wife hiding in sound. This may not have even happened. I don't know. That's
Man.
all she needed was an opening.
Yeah,
Just
well,
get me out.
The opening, it's not going to get her out of the...
They urged her to climb down, but she resisted until female officers talked to her through the gap.
Are we still talking about the ceiling?
Talking through the gap sounds like a fan fiction
Again,
sex novel.
Or are we still talking about the crack in the ceiling?
But this is why we need female cops.
That's it, man.
Because if this actually happens, so the male cops couldn't get through to her, female cops are like,
and the female cops are like, get out of here.
We know how
I'll
to do
handle
this.
this.
We'll just
I've
start
wanted to leave my husband for years.
right. And then they climb.
I'm surprised that the Philippines allows women to be cops.
I know. They probably may. I'm surprised they didn't indict these women for helping this woman
When
get
these
down.
women aren't making us dinner back at the station.
We call them in to talk to women who won't climb down from ceilings. After almost a half an hour, they were able to take the wife to the police station with the husband. Well, that's smart. Get them together again.
Let's put them in the same room.
Who is determined to sue the woman and her toy boy.
Toy boy. Toy boy.
By the way, a half hour is not a long time to talk someone down from a motel ceiling.
mean-
I've spent longer trying to talk my daughter into going to sleep.
That's
They made a half hour seem like the longest time in the world.
it's not this isn't Die Hard.
Half
okay?
hour, yeah. It's not like movie hours. And as we mentioned before, if found guilty, the woman could be jailed for up to 6 years.
She's gonna want to get away, man. She's going to want to get away.
What about the toy boy? What becomes of that guy?
He becomes Pixar's latest Philippine star.
What I want to know, what if this is what became of Pinocchio?
Are you saying
Think
he
about
moved to
Pinocchio.
the Philippines,
Became a toy boy.
for lonely married women?
And they have to get him to lie, then to get his nose to grow.
That's
to
not the
notice.
only thing that grows on.
Right? They just get him to lie. His nose grows, and they
come
sit on his face.
Stop it.
It's, by the way, it's the only possible resolution to Pinocchio's weird childhood.
Because
we
gonna
only know him as a
tie-
child.
Yeah, we only know
So
him as a
that
child.
childhood,
Think about child actors and how terribly they wind up. I mean, unless he stayed what he was. but,
although for him in court, Pinocchio in court,
I mean,
that's an easy, like, you don't even have to do a lie detector
easy
test.
pickings.
Right? Oh, yeah. I just met her last week.
Here's the thing. I think Pinocchio in court pleads the fifth every time.
I just met her before that, but we had no contact.
It wasn't sexual at all.
Okay. To me, I would watch that. Adult Pinocchio
In court.
in court.
As a star witness.
Star witness, or he's turned into a gigolo.
Here's the
women
deal.
know what he can do with his nose. They talk about it.
So
gets
here's
out
the
there in
crazy
world.
thing. I think this woman, just grant her a divorce. She does not like the husband. She is not his
He's
property.
been gone for months.
Let her go. He's been gone on an oil rig. He loves that oil rig more than he loves her. Okay.
Let her go. It
her
didn't
go.
work out. Things don't work out sometimes. Just let her go.
Find someone new. Find someone on the oil rig.
Maybe she'll want to go to jail. I don't know. Maybe jail will be an easier life for her. Who
Whatever
knows?
it is, I just want to make sure she's okay and not speaking from the crack anymore.
I know. An adult Pinocchio. I want to see that happen.
I'm ready to do that.
Pixar, get on it.
All right,
That's
guys,
the
that
show.
is the show. That's how we do. We're back in the saddle. I hope this week is going well for you. We'll see you today. If you get this in the morning, we'll see you at noon West Coast time, 3 p.m. Eastern time on the Stereo app. We do our conversation on stereo. And then we'll see you this weekend. Live Dumb People Down at Nowhere Comedy Club. Eventbrite.com. Get those tickets. Still a few tickets for the pre-show hang. It's going to be a blast. We'll see you there. And stay connected, stay protected. Don't get infected. We love you guys. This is not a hoax.
But we've got the jokes.
Wear a mask, especially now, and stay away from people and listen to this.
One last. We're in the home stretch.
Make the push until the vaccine comes, and we'll see you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da-da.